Wednesday, 15th of January. I'm just looking at this. Trump's got Netanyahu to do a sort of ceasefire deal. And when Israel does a deal with the Palestinians, you've always got to look at it. Well, I think anyway, sort of in bad faith. But I'm hopeful about this one because Trump's done it. And I think Trump's up to either three things. Either he's being genuine, because they're saying that this is even more remarkable. They're saying that they're saying two things. First of all, Trump spoke to Netanyahu on the 8th or whatever, and you're expecting Trump to do whatever Netanyahu says, really. Partly because he's Muriel Adelson or whatever her name is giving him $100 million as a donation. But it turns out that I think it was last Friday Trump's middleman to do a deal or whatever, a peace deal, was going to meet Netanyahu last Friday or something. Netanyahu said, "Can you make it this Saturday, because it's a Shabbat today," even though he's non-practicing really. I wonder if they do that quite often. They tell the Americans you can't come on a Friday or whatever. But anyway, the Trump's guy said, "No, we're meeting you on Friday. It's very important. It needs to be done quick or whatever, So the fact that they even done that, just that slight to Netanyahu, tells you, oh, that's pretty good. Well, we've only heard this from one source apparently, and somebody was commenting on that. Maybe it's a bit of a red herring, really. It's maybe they're just making it look tougher than it really is. But the other thing is they've also got a deal going on now, a ceasefire, and that's a big shock as well, because really Israel seem to be able to do what they want to America. So this is Trump doing this, with the first meeting since he's about to become president again, when Biden couldn't get anything going, and he seems to be doing the exact opposite of what we expected. That it's not meant that all Palestinians will disappear from that area. It's not meant that Israelis of Netanyahu's preference will move into Gaza. So that was really what the whole thing was about, really. And they're even going to let Palestinians that are down in the south of Gaza back up to the north, and the north was cleared out, basically. So this is all a bit of a shock. And another shock was that after Trump met Netanyahu, he reposted a post by Jeffrey Sachs. I don't know what social media, whether it was Truth Social, which is Trump's, or X. But anyway, Jeffrey Sachs is very critical of Israel, and he says Netanyahu is accusing him of manipulating US foreign policy to serve Israeli interests, particularly by pushing for endless wars in the Middle East. Sachs argued that Netanyahu has been pursuing a strategy since 1995 to weaken groups like Hamas and Hezbollah by targeting their supporting governments in Iraq, Iran and Syria. So I'm wondering if there's three things going on here. Either Trump's being genuine and he's sort of fed up with Netanyahu, because I think in the first term, I think Netanyahu was basically an obstacle, which seems to be the way he is. And it's tail wagging the dog, basically. It's as if Trump's had enough of that, even though Muriel Adelson's given him $100 million. I don't know, because he's also got his son-in-law who's married to Ivanka, and I get the feeling to please him, he made Jerusalem the capital of he put the US embassy in Jerusalem and that, symbolic thing. But then his other daughter's now married to a Christian Lebanese guy. But then, if he's Christian Lebanese, either he's got his own opinion on Palestinians, or either he hates them even though you don't need to hate them, but that some people hate. This is a group that we're meant to hate, so therefore I hate them or whatever. So I don't know what's going on there. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was to do with something, as trivial as that. But anyway, so Trump may be serious, or it's all a sham, and Israel are going to get all of Gaza or whatever, Or it's some sort of deal that he's done with Netanyahu that maybe the Americans will bomb Iran, Trump said he was going to be out of all wars, and then maybe in the biggest one in a lot. So we don't know yet, we'll just have to wait and see, But this is shocking, and as Jeffrey Sachs says, and I agree, if Trump pulls this off in the way, this ceasefire is meant to go through 3 stages. The first one they're about to do on Sunday, I think, and it's going to be easy. Because this is just a ceasefire, but I think I've had a ceasefire before. But this one, they're getting a lot of Palestinian, quote, prisoners freed. We don't know if they're, quote, prisoners or just detainees, because they detain a lot without charge and stuff like that, even children. So, but I think originally that's why Hamas started the war, because they were trying to do some sort of deal to get millions of detainees freed, or thousands of detainees freed. Usually Israel see it as they'll give one Israeli for 1,000 Palestinians. That's how they view Palestinians. But for some reason Netanyahu cancelled that in 2022 or something. I don't know. I just heard somebody talking about it, and that's why this sort of thing happened. But I mean, this has been going on 75 years, so I would believe any sort of thing like that. Steve Witkoff is a Middle East envoy of Trump. But if Trump pulls this off, whatever happens, Palestine are going to get a bad deal. But even if they get somewhere near the 1967 borders, which they probably won't, because the West Bank's been made into cantons, basically. If they got something that they could agree to, Jeffrey Sachs says Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize, and I totally agree. Even though I don't have any respect for the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, who decides it? Why does it get such respect for it? But I agree with him totally. Trump should be seen as a sort of, he can really be seen as a peace deal guy there. But it's ironic. This is the easiest one that America could do in practice, but no American president's been able to do it because of the political pressure in America, because they're also scared of Israel and how it would affect them as politicians in America. So this would be amazing. And the other reason it would be so good is because Netanyahu in Israel, as whoever's the most fanatic person in Israel, they would think Trump, there's nobody beyond Trump on the right who would give them a better deal. So if Trump's giving them this deal, which they don't want, they've no one else, because if it was a Democrat president, they could say, well, we'll just wait till Trump gets in, or even any Republican president, or even another Democrat president, because they'll just do what we want. But, yeah. So this is incredible if this gets pulled off. The ceasefire starts on Sunday, but we'll see. I think Israel, just from what I've seen in the past, they always do bad faith stuff with the Palestinians, so we'll just need to wait to see. But if Trump does it, it's amazing. But like I say, maybe he's done some bigger deal with Netanyahu to bomb Iran or something, Because even there's many fanatics in Israel, most of the cabinet are fanatics, but if apparently one of them was saying we need to do this deal because Trump's done it. You know, because there's no one further eccentric right for Trump than Trump, you know, so it's crazy. So this would be amazing, and it just goes to show this is the only one that Trump will probably manage to do, really. Because remember last time he was going to do a deal for North Korea, you know, and I don't know what else. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Keep an eye on it. Could it be that Trump actually does some sort of deal, because any American president could have done instantly by saying no more arms to Israel, you've got to do a deal. The only last one to do that, I think, was George Bush threatened that, George Bush the first senior, in 1990, but Israel managed to play that one out, really. Jimmy Carter tried a bit. Apart from that, nobody really tried, you know. They were too scared, too afraid. I think Obama gave them their biggest amount of armaments deal ever, you know, because they get sort of like $5 billion a year in arms, and then for this war they'll get billions and billions, you know. Basically, America taxpayers have funded it. Anyway, so that's interesting to watch. That would be incredible if it happens, because you could do a deal there overnight. It's always been possible, but everyone's been too afraid of Israel to do something about it. So let's see.